Have you ever sat down, looked at your bank account, and thought, is this really going to last me through retirement? If so, you're not alone. A lot of retirees find themselves in this exact situation. You've worked hard, saved what you could, and now you're supposed to enjoy the golden years of life. But the reality? Expenses don't stop just because you've retired. In fact, sometimes they creep up even higher. The bills keep coming, medical costs can be unpredictable, and let's be honest, retirement should be about living, not just surviving. And that's why today, we're going to talk about one of the smartest moves you can make: passive income. Now, when people hear passive income, they often think of millionaires sipping margaritas on the beach while their money magically multiplies. But the truth is, passive income isn't just for the rich. In fact, it's one of the best ways for retirees, just like you, to create financial security, reduce stress, and even give yourself more freedom to enjoy life without constantly worrying about money. So, what are the best ways to do it? Should you invest in real estate? Dividend stocks? A small side hustle that pays you every month? The good news? You don't have to pick just one. The key is finding the right approach for you, one that fits your lifestyle, your finances, and most importantly, your peace of mind. Let's start with one of the most popular passive income strategies: real estate. Now, before you roll your eyes and think, I don't have the energy to be a landlord, hear me out. Owning real estate doesn't mean dealing with broken toilets at midnight or chasing down tenants for rent. These days, there are smarter, simpler ways to make real estate work for you, without the headaches. For example, if you already own your home, you might have one of the easiest passive income opportunities right in front of you. Renting out a spare room, a basement, or even a garage space could bring in hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars every month. And guess what? That's money you don't have to work for. But maybe you don't want to share your home, and I get it. That's where another option comes in: real estate investment trusts, or REITs. REITs are like stocks for real estate. Instead of buying a property yourself, you invest in companies that own things like apartment buildings, shopping centers, or office spaces. They collect rent, and you collect a share of the profits without ever dealing with tenants. And the best part? Many REITs pay out dividends, meaning you can get regular cash flow without having to lift a finger. It's one of the easiest ways to make real estate work for you without actually being a landlord. But real estate isn't the only way to create passive income in retirement. Because if you like the idea of getting paid consistently without owning property, let's talk about another fantastic option: dividend stocks. Dividends are basically thank you checks from companies just for owning their stock. Some companies, especially big, stable ones, pay out dividends to their shareholders every single quarter, or even every month. Now, imagine this. Instead of just having money sit in a savings account earning next to nothing, what if that money was invested in solid, dividend-paying stocks? You could be getting paid, regularly, just for holding on to them. And the best part? If you pick strong, established companies, you don't even have to touch your original investment. You simply live off the dividends while your money continues to grow over time. I know retirees who have built entire dividend portfolios that pay them hundreds or even thousands of dollars each month, without selling a single share. That's real financial freedom. But here's the thing: not all dividend stocks are created equal. Some companies pay huge dividends, but they're risky. Others are solid and steady, paying a reliable income year after year. The key? Stick with well-established companies with a strong track record of paying dividends consistently, even during tough economic times. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking: that's great, but what if I don't have a ton of money to invest in real estate or the stock market? Well, that's where side hustles come in. And before you shake your head and say, I'm retired, I don't want another job, don't worry. We're not talking about working a 9-to-5. We're talking about simple, low-effort ways to bring in extra cash every month without sacrificing your freedom. Because here's the reality: you have skills, experience, and knowledge that people are willing to pay for. And these days, it's easier than ever to turn that into passive income. For example, have you ever considered writing? If you love to share stories, memories, or even advice, you could self-publish a short book or guide online and get paid every time someone downloads it. Or maybe you love to take photos? There are websites where you can upload your pictures and earn passive income every time someone buys one. And if you're good at explaining things, you could record a short online course, upload it once, and get paid every time someone watches it. The key is finding something that fits your lifestyle and your interests. Because passive income isn't just about money, it's about giving yourself the financial security to live retirement on your terms. Now, we've covered real estate, dividends, and a few easy side hustles. But we're just getting started. Because next, we're going to talk about how to make passive income work for you without taking on unnecessary risk or putting your savings in danger. Now that we've talked about the different ways to create passive income, real estate, dividends, and side hustles, let's dig deeper. Because here's the thing. Not all passive income is created equal. Some strategies require more money up front, some take a little more effort, and some carry more risk than others. So, how do you know which one is right for you? That's exactly what we're going to figure out right now. Let's start with real estate since it's one of the most common ways people think about passive income. I know what you might be thinking. I don't want to be a landlord. I don't want to deal with broken toilets and problem tenants. And honestly, I don't blame you. But here's the thing. You don't have to be a landlord to make money from real estate. One of the best strategies for retirees is renting out part of your own home. If you have a guest house, a finished basement, or even just a spare bedroom, you could be making hundreds or even thousands of dollars a month without buying any new property. And you don't have to turn your home into an Airbnb either. Long-term renters are a great option if you want steady, reliable income. But let's say that's not for you. Maybe you don't want anyone else living in your space, and I get that. That's where real estate investment trusts, REITs, come in. Remember, REITs are a way to invest in real estate without actually owning property. You buy shares in companies that own shopping centers, apartment buildings, and office spaces. And here's why retirees love them. They pay out steady, reliable dividends. In other words, they send you a check just for owning them. And the best part? You don't have to deal with tenants, repairs, or property management headaches. Just buy and hold, and let the real estate professionals do the work. So, if you're someone who likes the idea of real estate but doesn't want the responsibilities of owning property, REITs might be the perfect passive income strategy for you. Now, let's talk about dividends. If you want truly passive income that requires zero effort once it's set up, dividends are one of the best options out there. The idea is simple. You invest in stocks that pay dividends, and they pay you every quarter or even every month just for owning them. And the beauty of dividends is that they can be reinvested to grow your wealth over time. Think of it like planting a tree. At first, it's small, but the longer you let it grow, the more fruit it produces. Some retirees even set up what's called a dividend portfolio, where they invest in a mix of stable, high-quality companies that have been paying dividends for decades. These companies weather recessions, downturns, and inflation, and they keep paying. It's like having a paycheck in retirement without having to work. But there's one important thing to keep in mind. Not all dividend stocks are safe. Some companies offer huge dividend yields that seem too good to be true, and usually they are. If a company is struggling financially, they might promise big payouts just to attract investors. But guess what? If the business goes under, those dividends disappear. That's why it's important to stick with companies that have a history of paying and increasing their dividends over time. So, if you're looking for a way to generate passive income without owning real estate, dividends are one of the safest, easiest options to consider. Now, what if you want something even more flexible? Something you can start with zero money up front that still brings in steady income. That's where side hustles come in. And before you think, I don't want another job, hear me out. A side hustle doesn't have to mean working long hours or doing something physically exhausting. In fact, the best side hustles for retirees are the ones that let you use skills you already have without feeling like a job. For example, do you love writing, photography, or crafting? You can sell ebooks, stock photos, or handmade items online, all of which can generate passive income over time. Maybe you love sharing knowledge. Have you ever thought about creating an online course? Sites like Udemy and Teachable let you record a course once, and then you get paid every time someone signs up without doing any extra work. And here's a great one: renting out stuff you already own. Do you have a car, a boat, or even tools sitting in your garage? People are willing to rent those out, and you could be making easy money every month without lifting a finger. The point is, you don't have to go back to work to bring in extra cash. There are plenty of low-effort ways to generate income without sacrificing your freedom. So, let's recap. Real estate can generate great passive income, but you don't have to be a landlord. REITs let you invest in real estate without owning property. Dividend stocks pay you just for holding them, and they can provide a steady, reliable income stream for years. And if you want something low-cost, low-risk, and flexible, side hustles like renting out a room, selling digital products, or even just monetizing things you already own can bring in extra cash every month without feeling like a job. But here's the thing. No matter which passive income strategy you choose, you have to make sure it works for you. Because not every option fits every lifestyle. Some people love real estate while others prefer dividends. Some want to set it and forget it, while others like the idea of an easy side hustle they enjoy. The key is finding what works best for you, so you can create passive income that actually fits your retirement lifestyle. Now, you might be wondering, how do you start? What's the best first step to take? Well, that's exactly what we're going to talk about next. How to set up passive income in a way that's safe, simple, and sustainable, without taking on unnecessary risk. So now we've covered the best passive income strategies: real estate, dividends, and side hustles. But here's the million-dollar question. How do you actually get started? Because let's be real, knowing about these income streams is one thing, but putting them into action is what really makes the difference. And the last thing you want is to jump into something that doesn't fit your lifestyle, takes up too much time, or worse, puts your savings at risk. That's why, in this final part, we're going to break down exactly how to start building passive income, step by step. And the first step? Figuring out what works for you. Let's say you like the idea of real estate. Maybe you're already a homeowner and you love the thought of turning your property into an income source. Where do you start? Well, first, look at what you already have. Do you have a spare room, a basement, or a guest house that you're not using? Could you rent it out to a long-term tenant, a student, or even just a traveling professional who needs short-term housing? If that sounds like something you'd be comfortable with, start small. List your space on a rental site, talk to people you trust, and ease into it. But maybe you'd rather do real estate investing without becoming a landlord. If that's the case, real estate investment trusts, REITs, might be your best bet. And getting started is simpler than you think. Many REITs can be purchased just like stocks, through an online brokerage account. Some even allow you to start with as little as $100. The key is choosing the right type of REIT. Some focus on apartment buildings, some on office spaces, and others on commercial real estate. The safest bet? Look for REITs that have been around for decades and have a strong track record of consistent dividend payouts. Now, let's talk about dividend stocks. If you love the idea of making money just for holding on to an investment, dividend stocks could be your perfect passive income source. But where do you begin? First, look for strong, established companies with a history of paying reliable dividends. These are often called dividend aristocrats, companies that have increased their dividends every year for decades. And you don't need a huge amount of money to start. Even a small investment can grow over time as you reinvest your dividends and watch them compound. One of the smartest strategies? Set up a dividend reinvestment plan, DRIP. This means that instead of taking your dividends as cash, they automatically buy more shares, helping your investment grow over time. And here's the best part. Once your portfolio reaches a certain size, you can switch from reinvesting your dividends to living off of them. That's how some retirees generate thousands of dollars per month without selling a single stock. But maybe investing isn't your thing. Maybe you're looking for something more hands-on, something that lets you stay active and bring in extra cash without dipping into your savings. That's where side hustles come in. And remember, a side hustle doesn't mean getting a second job. It means leveraging what you already know, have, or love doing to create extra income. For example, Let's say you have a hobby, maybe woodworking, sewing, or painting. Have you ever considered selling your creations online? Websites like Etsy make it easy to set up a shop and turn your passion into a steady income stream. Or maybe you love to write. Self-publishing a short book, a guide, or even a memoir can generate passive income for years without needing a publisher or spending a dime up front. And here's a great one: renting out things you already own. Do you have a car you barely use? A boat that sits unused most of the year? People will pay to rent these things from you, and there are platforms that make the process safe and easy. The key with any side hustle? Choose something that fits into your life, not the other way around. So now that you have options, let's talk about the most important piece of the puzzle: protecting your money while building passive income. Because, let's be honest, the last thing you want is to take on unnecessary risk or fall for bad advice. First, never put all your money into one income stream. Diversification is key. If you invest in real estate, also consider having some dividend stocks or another source of passive income. That way, if one market takes a hit, you're not relying on just one source of cash flow. Second, be careful with too good to be true opportunities. If someone promises huge returns with zero risk, run the other way. Passive income should be about smart, steady growth, not gambling your savings on something that sounds exciting but isn't proven. And finally, think long-term. Passive income isn't just about making extra money today. It's about creating financial security that allows you to truly enjoy retirement, without constantly worrying about running out of money. So, whether you choose real estate, dividend stocks, a simple side hustle, or a mix of all three, the most important thing is getting started. Because the sooner you start, the sooner you'll have money coming in without working harder for it. Now, I want to hear from you. Which passive income strategy interests you the most? Drop a comment below and let me know. And if you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on more retirement money tips. Because at the end of the day, retirement isn't about just making ends meet. It's about creating the freedom to enjoy your life, stress-free. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.